Twisted Christian, back with the video. I'm going to do a video update on the 8 wells, Kim Clements 8 wells. So I just want to let you guys know what's going on with that and some of the information that I have found and how it's going to affect how I make these videos. But first, I thank you guys for your support on Patreon. Please go ahead and sign up. The link is down below in the description. Sometimes I don't know why that these links, my support links, aren't getting in the description after I first post the video. But go ahead and go there. I'm also going to have it on the Twisted Christian About page too as well. We got all these different tiers, and these different tiers eventually will become different items. And not only that, if you guys don't know, I have a massive project that I've been working on for some time called the Grigori, and then I have spin-offs, the Grigori Legends, and that's the first one that we're doing. And all of your support, whether it's through here or PayPal, helps me continue to build that, because that's something that I work on the side, as well as going to work and working on these videos. It's something I've been working on, like I said, for like the last 12 years, I believe, altogether, something like that. When I first started writing the story, when God gave me the vision for this particular story and basically a whole franchise. Just to give you an update, the 8 wells. Okay, I've been doing research, and I have a lot of Kim Clements prophecies to go through. There are certain things that I have to do, like using key search words in order to find when he's talking about Synchrotron, the big E, Firepoint E, but also the wells, because he doesn't specifically mention all 8 wells at once. So with some of those, like the big E and Firepoint E, those actually might be connected, so that actually might be one well together. So we'll have to see about that, as well as it could be separate wells. It just really depends. Now, as far as investing, because when I'm looking at these things, I have to figure out how to invest, right? So that's going to be the big thing. That's going to be part of the research, like Synchrotron, right? Now, Synchrotron is pretty big. It's been in the news over the last 6 months, and it's not just one thing. Synchrotron has its hands in everything from food to space travel to construction to medical therapies, radiation, science research. I mean, there's just so much that Synchrotron has its hands in. And one of the things that I have had a problem with just in the hour that I did the research on it is finding out which companies are using this technology that we can invest in. There is one, but for here in the United States, you can't invest in it right now. You have to live in Asia in order to invest in it. And it's actually very cheap. It's like right now, when I last checked the stock, it was $3.99 per stock. Right, and I think this is one of the first companies that is using the Synchrotron technology that's actually you can invest in the stock market, but not here in the United States. And I'm going to get to that. And I think that's why Synchrotron will probably have its own video when I do this, because when I actually find the other 3 wells, which I believe that I will with all the research. Synchrotron is so massive and so big, and there's many different private companies that are getting into it. So just figuring out which companies that you can now invest in and companies that we're going to have to watch. It's pretty big, and I think that's going to have a video on its own, and we'll have to continue to watch those private companies that are actually using that technology. Now, of course, if you're a massive investor, if you have millions of dollars and so forth, you might actually be able to go and invest in these private companies without having to go through the stock market. You know, people like most people can't invest in some of these private companies without a lot of money. So in this, going through Kim Clements' prophecies, when I was doing the research, I mean, literally, there's at least 50 different prophecies I have to go through, and that I just can't read just about the prophecy. I have to read above and below, because a lot of times he'll talk about one thing and then he'll kind of go into another subject and go right back to the subject. There's a lot of connections that have to be made, and a lot of connections that have to be made between each of the prophecies and the hints that he gives in a lot of the different prophecies. And also too, just to kind of give you an update what I think about what's going on with the dinar. I really truly believe right now we're still going into 2020. Yes, it could pop anytime. But another video that I'm working on is going to have to deal with is how bad do things have to be according to Kim Clements' prophecies when things seem at their worst, right? Because there's a lot of political upheaval, there's a lot of economic upheaval, there's a lot of countries being affected by this current trade war going on with China. So there's a lot with that. It's intensified over the last week. Things will be as the more tariffs are put on September 1st, October 1st. There's just a lot of different things that are happening. And there's also a lot of military tension between a lot of countries, especially over in the Middle East and also over in Asia as well. And there's also the economic upheaval in South America. So there's just a lot of things going on, and I just don't think that right now that it's going to be one of those situations that it does pop. That's just my opinion. Just like Kim Clement said, nothing, and then suddenly it could happen. I also hope you guys enjoyed this mini series that I did on the RV and the exchange, what to do beforehand, how to handle your security, how to handle dealing with different people and churches and so on and so forth. That was very important that I get that out so you guys can go back through. At some point, I'll probably will combine all the videos and make it one video as I think that we get closer to this thing so you guys can be reminded of a lot of the things that have that need to take place, because I don't want to see anybody lose their dinar investment, because this is just one well. This is just one well that you can invest. And by the time we get done with these 8 wells, hopefully some of you will be able to invest in some of those 8 wells right now by the time we get done. So then that will help you also too. You won't actually just always have to depend on the dinar. And also too, I do want to point out that in one of Kim Clement's prophecies, and people are wondering, like, where are all these wells that are at? He prophesied this in 2014, and one of the things that Kim Clement had said that some of the wells have been taken over by the enemy, and so when the time is right, those wells will be released when those people that are in place are being removed. The way that I'm looking at it, the way that I'm looking at his prophecies now than what I did back then is totally different. And that's why I'm going to be able to go back and point to a lot of these 8 wells. Thank goodness that these 8 wells have not been all released, right? Because when this dinar thing happens, if there's no other 8 wells that have come to pass yet, then you will be able to invest into these other things. That's why it's important when I say after the RV, be careful how you give, just because you want to be able to put yourself into a position to be able to invest in a lot of other things. If some of you only have a few 100,000 dinars and this thing happens, you could take a small percent and be able to go into the other 8 wells and then continue to make more, right? So also too, I'm going to be doing another video on putting yourself into position to be able to invest in these 8 wells. And other things, because sometimes we can dig our own wells, we can do our own research on certain technologies or certain companies and everything. And don't be fearful of the stock market, because a lot of the stocks have been hit by the trade war, but the major stocks, when you see the Dow go down like 1,000 or 800 or whatever, a lot of the big companies that are actually getting hurt. So I don't have any stocks. I don't have a $1,000 stock or anything like that. Some of these big tech companies, their stocks are huge that I can't, to the point to where I can't even invest. So I'm going to be working, like I said, on these 8 well videos, and some of them are easily identifiable. So that'll probably be the first one, and then the next one will deal with some of the ones like Firepoint E, the Big E, and Synchrotron. Synchrotron, like I said, will probably have its own video, because it's huge. This thing is massive. And I posted some articles on my Patreon that deal with the Synchrotron technology. So you guys can check those out, and I will show those articles when I actually do the video on that. So also too, don't forget to go down to the support links down below in the description, Robinhood and some other things. that are down there below in the description that you guys can take a look at. I got on finding lost money. You guys need to check that out because you guys need to do the research in your state that you live in. You got to look at yourself. You got to look at, maybe your parents. There are pensions that you might be able to find that maybe one of your parents had that's no longer here. There are just so many different options that you need to look at. All right, and then I also have the penny stock Google document down below in the description. All right, those are all the pennies, the currencies that are $1 and below, and then I have it broken down like under 10 cents and so forth. So you guys need to look at that because I'm going to be posting a video here pretty soon from Currency 365 on some of the current other currencies that he likes, that he's into, and also some other information that he has, especially on the Zim dollar, because I can't tell you guys any information about that. He's more well versed in that. So we're going to get to that this week. I promise. This is a light week for me, so I'm going to be able to get these videos out very quickly. So I appreciate all your guys' support. I look forward to these videos and your responses to these videos. And also, again, too, if anybody, a lot of times I get people, and for those people who are listening that are very, very negative, especially about the dinar, I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to delete the comment. Because if you don't believe in the dinar, why are you watching the videos? So I'm really going to deal with that. Also, too, you guys keep asking the same questions about the Vietnamese dong. I have videos on that already. You guys could go check them out. Sometimes when you guys come to the channel, go down through all the videos. Go down through all the videos and check out the videos because I may have already dealt with that. And I may do an update on it at some point. But I can't answer, constantly comments about the Vietnamese dong. The videos are there. You can go and watch them. So with that, Twisted Christian out.